What a political party? A political party is an organized group of people who share similar political ideologies and objectives, aiming to influence public policy and governance. These organizations play a crucial role in the political landscape of most countries, whether in democratic, authoritarian, or other forms of government. These are comprehensive look into various aspects of political parties. Ideological foundation. Political parties typically form around shared ideologies, values, or policy goals. These ideologies can range from liberalism, conservatism, socialism, environmentalism, to many other political philosophies. The ideological basis of party shapes its stance on various issues and policies. Organization and structure. Political parties usually have a hierarchical organizational structure with local, regional, and national levels. Usually have a hierarchical organizational structure. This structure helps in member coordination, policy development, and campaigning. Leadership roles within the party are often defined with mechanism for decision-making and policy formation. Electoral participation, a primary function of political parties, is to contest elections. They nominate candidates for various public offices, from local government positions to national leadership roles. Through elections, parties seek to gain power of influence within the government. Policy development and advocacy. Parties develop policies that align with their ideologies and campaign on these issues to gain public support. Once in power, they work to implement these policies through legislation, governance, and influence over public institutions. Representation. Parties represent the interests and the viewpoints of their members and supporters. They provide a way for individuals to participate in the political process and have their voices heard on larger stage. This representation is key in connecting the electorate with government. Role in government. In democratic systems, the party or coalition of parties with the most support usually forms the government. The ruling party sets the legislative and executive agenda, while opposition parties play a role in holding the government accountable and providing alternative policies. Public engagement. Political parties engage with the public through campaigns, rallies, debate, and media. They use these platforms to communicate their messages, attack voters, and promote their policies and the candidates. Variability across nation. The role, influence, and the structure of political parties can vary widely across different countries. Some countries have multi-party systems with several competing parties, while others have a two-party system and some are dominated by a single party. The nature of party systems reflects that the political, historical, and cultural context of each country. Challenges and adaptation. Political parties face various challenges, including changes in public opinion, shifts in political landscapes, internal conflict, and evolving communication technologies. Parties often need to adapt to remain relevant and effective. Global and regional influence. In an increasingly interconnected world, political parties is also engaged in international policies, either through global political alliance or regional groups. They can influence and be influenced by international events and trends. Overall, political parties are key actors in shaping governance, policy, and political culture. They facilitate democratic process, represent diverse groups, and contribute to political stability and development of societies. 2. The function of political parties. Political parties play a multitude of crucial functions in both democratic and non-democratic systems. Here's an in-depth explanation. 1. Representation. Political parties represent the interests and aspiration of different segments of society. They give voice to specific groups and help integrate them into the political process, ensuring diverse opinions are heard. Official parties serve as crucial instruments for representing various segments of society, reflecting diverse interests and aspirations. By giving voice to specific groups, they facilitate the integration of these groups into political process. This representation ensures that the political system is not dominated by a single viewpoint, but rather reflect a multitude of perspectives, catering to a wide range of social, economic, and cultural interests. Parties also act as conduits through which ordinary citizens can influence government policies and decisions. Whether it's advocating for workers' rights, promoting business interests, addressing environmental concerns, or representing minority groups. Parties translate societal needs and opinions into actionable political agendas. This pluralistic approach is essential in a democracy as it helps in balancing competing interests and contributes to the creation of more inclusive and equitable policies. Through the organizational structure and activities such as campaigning, legislative initiatives, and public outreach, political parties play an instrumental role in shaping and enriching the democratic discourses. Two, formatting public policy. Parties develop policy platforms that reflect their ideologies. This involves crafting detailed policy proposals on a wide range of issues, such as the economy, healthcare, education, and foreign policy. Political parties play a vital role in formulating public policy by developing comprehensive policy platforms. That align with their ideological foundations. This process involves creating detailed and carefully thought out proposals, addressing various key issues, including the economy, healthcare, education, foreign policy, and more. These platforms not only reflect the core values and principles of the parties, but also serve as a roadmap for their intended governance approach. By presenting these policy proposals to the electorate, parties enable voters to make informed decisions based on how different policies align with their own views and needs. In a legislative context, parties work to translate these platforms into actionable policies, often negotiating and modifying proposals in response to practical considerations and diverse viewpoints. The dynamic process of policy formation is central to a functioning democracy, ensuring that governance is guided by a coherent set of ideas and strategies that have been subjected to public scrutiny and debate. Through these, political parties contribute significantly to shaping the direction of national policies and the societal process. Three, organizing elections. Political parties are central to organizing and contesting elections. They select candidates, run campaigns, and mobilize voters. Elections are the primary means through which parties seek to gain power in a democratic system. Political parties are fundamental to the organization and execution of elections in democratic systems. They perform several key roles in this process. Candidate selections. Parties are responsible for selecting and nominating candidates for various political offices. This selection process often involves primary elections or internal party decisions, ensuring that candidates align with the party's ideologies and policies. Campaigning. Parties organize and manage election campaigns for their candidates. This includes developing campaign strategies, creating and disseminating promotional materials, and engaging in public reactions. Efforts to communicate their message to the electorate. Voter mobilization. A critical role of political parties is to mobilize the voters. This involves encouraging party supporters to vote and reacting to out the potential voter through various means, such as rallies, door-to-door campaigns, and digital outreach. Policy promotion during election campaigns. Parties promote their policy platforms. This involves articulating their stance on various issues and outlining their vision for governance, aiming to persuade voters. Elections are the primary means through which political parties seek to gain or maintaining power in a democratic system. Through their participation in elections, parties facilitate the expression of the popular will and contribute to the legitimacy of the democratic process. They also serve as a bridge between the electorate and the government, ensuring that political leaders are accountable to the public. 4. Structuring the voting process. In legislature, parties help organize the parliamentary business. They can simplify the voting process for citizens by presenting clear ideological choices and distinct policy options. 5. Forming and running governments in democracies. Parties often form the government. The ruling party or coalition implements its policies and administers the day-to-day affairs of governance. In authoritarian regimes, a single party might control all government functions. 6. Opposition and oversight. Parties not in power play a vital role in scrutinizing and criticizing the action of the government, offering an essential check on power and ensuring accountability. 7. Political socialization and mobilization. Parties engaged in political socialization, educating citizens about the political process and the current issues. They also mobilized the public for political action and civic participation. 8. Linking government and people. Parties act as intermediaries between the government and the citizens, conveying public opinion to those in power and the government policies back to the people. 9. Integration and moderation. Parties can contribute to the political stability of a society by integrating diverse groups and moderating extreme positions, facilitating consensus and compromise. 10. Recruitment and training of leaders. Political parties are key in identifying, recruiting, and training new political leaders.
There are two main political parties in the United States, the Republicans and the Democrats. What is a political party? Why are there only two main parties? A political party is a group of people who have joined together because they share common principles, common beliefs, and common values, and they seek to control government by winning elections. Members of a party work to convince the government to adopt laws, regulations, and programs which reflect their party's beliefs. Political parties have a long history, both in the United States and in other countries as well. The United States has what is known as a two-party system. A two-party system is a political structure in which only two political parties have a genuine chance of winning elections. However, it does not mean that only two parties are allowed to exist, as there are numerous other smaller parties. The two-party system developed in Great Britain. In the latter half of the 1600s and throughout the 1700s, two political parties, the Whigs and the Tories, emerged and established themselves as the dominant parties. This long-standing tradition of two main parties probably led to the eventual adoption of a similar system in the United States. Initially, the Founding Fathers intended for the American government to avoid politics. In fact, in his farewell address, George Washington warned against the existence of political parties, suggesting that such organizations were the enemies of government and would only distract government from its intended purpose. However, early political disagreements gave rise to the Federalist Party and the Democratic Republican Party. Since that time, the United States has nearly always had two dominant parties. Currently, the two main political parties in the United States are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Every political party has what is known as a platform. A platform is a public statement of the party's main beliefs and guiding principles. Each of the stated principles of a platform is known as a plank. Party platforms can be rather lengthy, with modern parties having hundreds of planks. The party will adopt or update its platform every 4 years at the party's national convention. Political parties serve a wide variety of purposes. One of the most important functions a party serves is to nominate candidates. This helps a voter narrow his or her choices. Instead of voters studying a potentially limitless field of candidates, each party selects nominees. This allows the voter to focus attention on just 3 or 4 candidates and make a more informed decision. Another function of political parties is to inform voters. Whether it's through local, grassroots involvement such as letter writing campaigns, or party leaders speaking on television, parties attempt to let the general public know what's going on. This could also take the form of passing out flyers or pamphlets, or staging a large protest rally. The party that is in power can also set the agenda. This means that the party leaders will establish a course for the nation to follow. Whether it's a good course or a bad course would likely determine how long that particular party stayed in power. One final function of political parties is to serve as watchdog. Both parties do an effective job of watching the other party to make sure they are doing the things they are supposed to. If one party becomes corrupt, the other will surely inform the public. So, even though the founding fathers did not desire political parties to exist, they will surely continue to be a part of the American political system for years to come.